10 cars we need in the 2021 summer update starts now. The first car. We already have one of these, right? Well, we do, but it's one of the original cars in the game and it's not great. We also know that Rockstar has the ability to make multiple Benny's versions of vehicles if you look at the Willard faction, so I think that's what needs to happen with the LE RH8. Let's make a really sweet, really fast RH8, something that can compete with the top of the sports class. I don't think that's too ridiculous. These things, they make crazy amounts of power and they're awesome on the track. They handle really well. So I think that's exactly what this needs to be. We need to have an RH8 custom at Benny's. It needs to compete with the top sports cars, have excellent handling, and the best customization in the game to date. How about the Camaro ZL1? This thing's an absolute monster, and we already have the Gauntlet Hellfire, which is pretty awesome. It's maybe top 10 cars in the game. It's a lot of fun to drive. It looks great. I know that the Gauntlet Hellfire and the Dominator GTX kind of have elements of the ZL1, but I want to have some more variety to choose from in the muscle class. The Dominator and the Gauntlet Hellfire, their handling is so opposite. The Dominator GTX just sticks. The Gauntlet Hellfire wants to slide everywhere. Let's have a third option that looks like the ZL1. It's a classic vehicle, and put the handling somewhere in the middle. Balance it to where it can race with these things and try to get some variety in muscle class races. The Lamborghini Chian, and if you've seen one of these, they look so incredible and it would be awesome to have them in the game. We also need some better Pegassi vehicles, I think. Let's make this car compete with the top cars in the Supras class and give a little bit of variety to online racing. Make it just an absolute monster, just tons of speed, harder to handle than the Emirates, but a really good, really good looking car. I mean, I think that has the potential to be the best looking car in the game. The Zarusso is a great car. A lot of the Pegassis they've added recently are fun to drive, but they're not really raceable, and I think they can do a lot better with Lamborghinis. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to see some variety in racing, and I want to see a new Lamborghini that just looks and performs great, is a blast to drive, and kind of similar to the Neo where it's hard to handle. The BMW 1000RR is an awesome superbike, and I would love to see something like that added in the game. I can't think of the last time a superbike was added to GTA. They've added a lot of street fighters, but I want like a racing bike, something like this, where you could even have its own racing series and just one bike so the performance is even among all players, and then have a ton of liveries, kind of like the, what are you calling, the Vito Modern go-karts, and then maybe even some matching racing suits. It'd be really fun to get a racing series going with people on the superbikes. I don't feel like motorcycles are raced as often as they should, and I don't know. I think we're bringing some car culture back. We need to bring some motorcycle culture back. Give us some awesome superbikes, a good racing series. It'd be a ton of fun. And the Ram TRX, and if you've been paying attention, you know this is now the off-road king. It's got crazy amounts of power. It's basically the Gauntlet Hellfire of off-road trucks, and it's pretty neat. I think we need it in the game, and Rockstar really loves their Mopar vehicles, their Dodge vehicles, so I can 100% see this being in the next update. I think it'll be in there for sure. But basically, it needs to have a lot of power, be really fast in a straight line, and I would like to see it somewhat balanced with the Hypercar that you see on the screen here. It'd be a lot of fun to be able to race those two together. The off-road class is kind of a mess when it comes to racing, but if there's, two vehicles that you could race that are similar, the Hypercar and a new TRX would be pretty sweet. The Koenigsegg Jesko is a really awesome new hypercar, and I really want to see it added into the game. This would give us another supercar, hopefully, that's a little bit balanced with the top of the class. You could have an Emirates, a Krieger, a Jesko, a Chian. It would be a lot of fun to have 4 fairly evenly matched cars in the Supras class, because that's all anybody really ever races anyways. Have a little bit of variety. This one I'd like to see with some really solid handling, and of course have the power balanced out so that it'll compete with the Krieger, the Emirates, whatever the Chian ends up being. It would be a lot of fun if they ended up adding both of these in there. And there are quite a few overclocked vehicles in the game already, but I feel like they can do a bit of a better job. The Entity XF was awesome. The XXR that you see here is okay, but none of them can really race with the top of the class. So that's what I'd like to see here with these. I want an MX-5 track car. I'm talking real life, but I would love to see one in the game too. The Mazda Miata is just such a classic for motorsports, and Rockstar's been adding quite a few cars like it recently, which makes me think that this is pretty likely, and I'm kind of expecting it to be in this update. The club that you see here, based on a Mark I Golf, is dominant in the compacts class. Nothing can even come close to touching it. So I would want to see this Roadster in the compacts class be able to compete with the club, make it very, very similar performance-wise, only the club drives a lot like a front-wheel drive car should drive, so make the Miata do the same thing. Make it basically a club, but with rear-wheel drive handling and its own racing series. It'd be so much fun. The new Toyota Supra, this is a car I feel like has to be in it, similar to some of the other ones. I don't see how Rockstar cannot include this car in a new update. The challenge is that this car you see here is called the Jester Classic. The original Jester in the game is based off of a Honda NSX. So what do you call the new Supra? I have no idea, but I guess it's not really my problem to figure that out. That's on Rockstar. This car is a lot of fun, but the new Supra needs to drift. The fact that this one, the Jester Classic, doesn't drift is a huge disappointment. I'm not a good drifter. You'll see that later in this video, but Rockstar should focus a little bit on catering to that market, because there are a lot of people that like to drift in this game. I think it's funky and weird, but it is fun when you nail it down if you have the right car. I also would love to see this at the top of the sports class, just to give us some more variety along with that RH8 Custom, and give it just a little bit of oversteer to make it a lot of fun to drive. This is one of my favorite cars of all time. It's an absolutely classic rally car, the Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evolution, and it is amazing. I want it so bad, and I love driving on dirt in this game. I think if you're getting bored of driving, go tear up some dirt roads in a rally car. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like drifting, but the game doesn't feel like it's fighting you. When you're drifting, you're basically doing something the game's not allowing you to do. When you're driving on dirt roads, it just feels so much more natural. It's a lot of fun. I would love for this car to compete with the best sports classics, sports classic rally cars in the game. And just, I don't know. I'm a little biased on this one, but this is one that I would really, really love to see. An S15 Nissan Silvia pretty much must go into this next update. When you see the Toyota Celica GT4 that they've teased, the update kind of has like a Midnight Club style vibe. I think this is another car we'll see in there. I suck at drifting. You'll see it here. I don't talk trash. I will tell you firsthand, I am not a good drifter. I'm not going to compete against you. I just do it for fun. It feels unnatural, but this car here, the Rapid GT, to me feels the best. And as far as the easiest to drift, I know a lot of people would probably agree with that. So I want to see a Silvia similar to the Rapid GT that has the ability to drift really well, just tons of oversteer, lots of customization options, cater to the drifting community. Those are the 10 cars that I think absolutely have to be in this 2021 summer update. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to stick around for some outtakes. Subscribe if you enjoyed it and share with your buddies. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. The overflawed cars in this game are good, but they're not excellent. I would just...
What the dude?
If you're getting tired in this game of driving around, go rally. It's so much fun. Oh, nice catch by the rock there.
What the dude?
The Banshee 900R is a great drifter. It's not one of my... Whoa! Ooh, almost looked like a Mustang driver in a parking lot. No. Oh, well, there we go.
What the dude?
A competitor to the Hypercar would be a lot of fun. I think a TRX version of the Bravado Bison would be the answer there. The Hypercar is a ton of fun to drive off-road. It's really easy to handle. It goes... Well, hopefully the TRX version could go over a rock.
What the